Good morning, dear colleagues, dear teachers. I'm Джуманкулова Ж.О, a teacher of English from Nazarbayev Intellectual School, Taras. And today I want to present two lessons for independent project in 8th grades. As we have already passed the topic of natural world, I would like to show a plan of the lessons connected with endangered species. And the first stage of the lesson is organization moment, which takes 3 minutes. And learning objectives are mostly connected with reading and speaking skills. Learning objectives are following. The first is read a growing range of extended fiction and non-fiction texts on familiar and some unfamiliar general and curricular topics. The second, deduce meaning from context in short text and some extended text on a growing range of familiar, general and curricular topics. The third is use familiar and some unfamiliar paper and digital reference resources to check meaning and extend understanding. And the last, which is connected with speaking, is interact with peers to negotiate, agree, and organize priorities and plans for completing classroom tasks. Lesson objectives are formulated as following. All students will be able to deduce meaning of the words while reading. Most students will be able to read the text to identify main and specific information. Some students will be able to create a presentation upon the given text. The lessons plans is based on the method of positional learning according to Viraska. One of the founders of the positional model of learning, Doctor of Psychology, Professor Viraska, uses positional model of training students to work with text. Pedagogical idea of the method is to think, to develop, to explain, and defend a certain position on the basis of academic text. The basic stages of the positional model of learning are the following. The first is preparation, which includes warm-up, pre-reading task, and pre-teaching vocabulary. The second is organization of the process, that is actually a peer division, or it can be group division. The third stage is positional reading, presentation of methods, analysis of the text, and discussion. And the last stage is presentation of the text from different positions, which consists of post-reading activities such as presentation and evaluation. For warm-up activity, which takes 10 minutes, students are suggested a vocabulary quiz of 3 variations with 3 different tasks: matching words with definitions, writing synonyms, or giving definitions for their choice. Or teacher may vary tasks suggesting students to construct sentences, fill in the gaps, and unscramble the words. And here are the examples of vocabulary quiz. The quiz is good in the means of differentiation, as all students will be able to revise the words related to the topic, choosing the task that is most appropriate to them, so that struggling students can feel confident. For this task, 10 minutes are allocated. For pre-reading tasks, which take 12 minutes, students are asked about organization they know that focus on conservation of nature and protection of endangered species. It's a kind of brainstorming activity, and teacher may allocate 12, 2 or 3 minutes. After that, teacher elicits the answers. Teacher shows a short video about IUCN, which is International Union for Conservation of Nature, and statistics about endangered species. So, after asking students about organizations, and students can answer that they know different organizations around the world and in Kazakhstan, such as Greenpeace or Жасыл ел, which is in Kazakhstan, and Now I want to show you the video about IUCN and statistics.
How much do you love nature? Do you remember your first walk in a forest? Your first swim in the ocean? The first time you saw a wild animal? We all love nature. We all depend on nature. More than 40% of the world's oxygen comes from rainforests. 50% of chemical medicines are based on nature. 100% of our food comes from nature. Are we taking this for granted? We need nature to sustain us. IUCN, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, is the world's largest global environmental network, created in 1948. Together, we're working in more than 160 countries for a just world that values and conserves nature. With over 1,000 staff, more than 1,200 member organizations, including governments and NGOs, and almost 11,000 volunteer scientists and experts. Together, we gather the latest knowledge on biodiversity, assessing the status of species, and protecting our natural wonders. We run hundreds of field projects around the world, such as managing water resources, restoring forests, protecting our coasts and oceans, and helping companies improve their environmental performance. We are nature's voice on the international stage. At the IUCN World Conservation Congress, at the United Nations General Assembly, at international environmental negotiations. By investing in solutions offered by nature, we can address today's global challenges. Together, we can stop the extinction of plants and animals, help fight climate change, restore natural resources, boost food security, and reduce poverty. When nature is healthy, our communities, economies, and countries prosper. Together, let's stand up for nature to create a better future for all of us. Join us now.
That is the end of the video. After watching the video, teacher may ask some comprehension checking questions, such as, is IUCN popular around the world? Do they have a big staff? What is their mission? Would you like to join them? What action would you like to take as a member of this organization? This kind of question will be useful for revising vocabulary and some grammar structures. Also, students may use their background knowledge to remember material past during learning about nature world. So, teacher elicits the answer. Before watching the video, teacher may give an opportunity for students to make notes or while watching the video. As the text about endangered species contains several scientific terms and academic words that can be unknown, it will be appropriate to give students an opportunity to work with paper or online electronic dictionaries to find the meaning of unknown words from the text. So Oxford Dictionary or oxforddictionaries.com site can be recommended as they give the most understandable and simple definitions with examples. Teacher may present vocabulary list connected with the text beforehand. And here is a sample of vocabulary list which contains the words from the text. All these words are mentioned in the text. And reading, that is pair division, which takes 3 minutes, or it can be 2 minutes or 4 minutes. Students are given the syllables of the words. They construct a correct word to form a pair. And I suggested to my students such kinds of words: otter, cheetah, condor, panda, bamboo. So they construct a whole word and form a pair, and after they work in pairs. But if you want, you can make your students work in groups. Reading, that actually takes 25 minutes. That is positional reading. Each pair is given a text with pictures to read, analyze and present. All the texts are taken from the official site of IUCN and include information about the most amazing species in the world that are under the threat of extinction. Students work in pairs or groups, reading and analyzing the text and deducing the meaning of unknown words. So here you can see the examples of text for reading. I have chosen the articles about a mountain gorilla, an otter, a panda, a rhino, a snow leopard. And teacher may find further information or choose other texts for reading about different endangered species using the official website of IUCN, the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Or students may choose the most interesting articles about endangered species by themselves. So teacher can print the prepared text out or give laptops for students to choose the most interesting articles. So, and the most important part or the stage of the lesson is presenting the methods of positional reading. There are a lot of methods of positional reading, but I have chosen only 5 of them for my 5 pairs. So the first is symbol, where students present main points of text using symbols and giving explanations to the symbols. The next is scheme, where students present the text in the form of scheme, showing the logical connections of the sentences. The third is theater, where students can present their text in the form of play. The next is literature, where students can present their text as a poem, a fairy tale, or a short story. The last one is interview, where students ask and answer the questions to present information given in the text. So they can pretend to be a famous star or a scientist to make an interview, to construct a dialogue. And after explaining the methods of positional reading, teachers should show success criteria. They are organization, which is logical sequence, content, accurate information, presentation, grammar accuracy and correct pronunciation, and usage of target vocabulary. As students present their texts in various ways, there are 3 main points that should be paid attention to. They are organization, content, presentation, and the last one is usage of target vocabulary. All the material presented should be logically connected, and all the information should be relevant and accurate. Students should control their grammar and work on their pronunciation. And for post-reading activity, which takes 20 minutes and includes presentation and evaluation, each pair or group should present their text using some techniques of presentation, while others should evaluate, drawing a happy or a sad icon of emotion to express their feelings and opinion in the following table. So you can look at the table. There are descriptors that have been explained beforehand: organization, content, presentation, and also usage of vocabulary. And here you can have columns: pair 1, pair 2, pair 3, pair 4. Each pair should draw an icon of emotion, a happy smile or a sad face. So after that, they could have a general analysis or a general evaluation, and students can have an opportunity to write comments or to make notes while listening to others. And eventually, the last stage of the lesson, feedback and reflection, which takes 7 minutes. Students are given a list of sentences to complete. They should choose the ones that are appropriate to their feelings and opinion about the lesson. Or students can choose the sentences to finish and write them in their reflective diaries. And I have suggested such kind of sentences: I have learned, I have known, I have understood, I have noticed, I have been surprised because I have had some difficulties with. And with my students we have had already this lesson, and now I want to share the results of the students' work. I want to show the photos of their works. So that was post-reading, positional model of learning, and the strategy was literature. And a pair of 8th graders prepared a legend of Rainer Man, having kept all the information in the text. And the next strategy was theater. They weren't able to show a role play, but they were imaginative enough to present the text about the mountain gorilla with the help of pictures. So they printed out the pictures and showed the main traits of the text using pictures. Two girls prepared presentation of giant panda using symbols. So they used some general symbols that are known all over the world, and they created some other symbols and explained them. And another strategy is scheme. Two students prepared presentation in the form of scheme about a snow leopard. So you can see that they used some main facts about this vulnerable animal. And that is all that I wanted to share with you. I hope that the lesson plans will be helpful and useful in your teaching practice. And thank you for your attention.